The air hung heavy with an unnatural stillness as I stumbled upon the old abandoned mansion. Its decrepit facade loomed over me like a malevolent guardian, shrouded in the darkness that seemed to seep from its very walls. The moonlight struggled to penetrate the thick, gnarled branches that clawed at the mansion's windows, casting eerie shadows that danced with an otherworldly energy. I had heard whispers of the place, a relic of a bygone era that had become a sanctuary for the supernatural. The stories echoed through the town like a haunting refrain, tales of the mansion's ghastly history and the restless spirits that dwelled within its decaying walls. Intrigued by the macabre allure, I decided to investigate the 10 scariest true stories of 2023 that surrounded this cursed estate. As I approached the entrance, the heavy wooden door creaked open with a ghostly groan, as if inviting me to step into the abyss that lay beyond. Hesitant, I crossed the threshold, the temperature dropping precipitously, as if the mansion itself recoiled at my intrusion. The first tale that echoed through the mansion's corridors was the inexplicable disappearance of an entire family that had sought refuge within its walls. The whispers spoke of disembodied cries and spectral figures that danced in the moonlit ballroom. I cautiously ventured deeper, my footsteps reverberating through the echoing silence. The walls seemed to pulse with a sinister energy, as if bearing witness to the unimaginable horrors that had unfolded within. The second story unfolded in the dimly lit library, where a cursed book had been discovered. Its pages were said to be inscribed with unholy symbols, casting a malevolent spell on anyone who dared to read its contents. I shuddered as I traced my fingers over the dusty volumes, half expecting the cursed book to materialize before me. The air grew thicker, laden with the weight of unseen eyes that watched my every move. As I ascended the grand staircase, the third story materialized in the form of a haunted mirror that hung in the hallway. Legend had it that the mirror reflected not only the physical form, but also the twisted souls that lurked in the shadows. My own reflection seemed distorted, and for a moment, I glimpsed the face of a spectral figure standing beside me. I recoiled, my heart pounding, but when I turned, there was nothing but the cold. The fourth tale emanated from the desolate nursery, where the laughter of ghostly children echoed through the air. Toys moved on their own accord, and a lullaby drifted through the stillness. I felt a chill crawl down my spine as the remnants of a presence long gone manifested in the sound of distant giggles and the rustle of unseen playmates. As I delved deeper into the mansion's secrets, the fifth story whispered of a cursed portrait that hung in the dilapidated dining room. The eyes of the painted figure followed my every move, its malevolent gaze piercing through the layers of time. I tried to avert my gaze, but an invisible force compelled me to stare into the abyss of those haunted eyes. The sixth tale unfolded in the basement, where an ancient ritual had taken place. The air was thick with the stench of decay, and arcane symbols adorned the damp, moss-covered walls. I felt a sinister presence lurking in the shadows, a malevolent force that sought to ensnare any who dared to disturb its unholy slumber. The seventh story revealed a series of inexplicable deaths that had occurred within the mansion's cursed confines. Shadows whispered of unseen hands that tightened around unsuspecting victims, dragging them into the abyss beyond the mortal realm. I treaded carefully, acutely aware of the unseen danger that lurked in every shadow. In the eighth room, the walls seemed to close in around me as I uncovered the tale of a cursed object that had been unwittingly brought into the mansion. It emanated an aura of malevolence, twisting reality itself. I felt the weight of unseen eyes, and the very air seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy as I navigated through the suffocating darkness. The ninth story materialized in the attic, where the ghostly apparition of a long-dead servant was said to roam. I could almost hear the phantom footsteps, the whispers of a tormented soul bound by an eternal duty that transcended the boundaries of life and death. The air grew heavy with the sorrow of a tragic existence, and I felt an overwhelming sense of empathy for the spectral figure that wandered the attic's desolate expanse. As I stood at the threshold of the 10th and final room, the culmination of all the horrors that had transpired within the mansion, a guttural whisper echoed through the stillness. The room was cloaked in an impenetrable darkness, and the air was charged with an unholy energy that clung to my skin. The story unfolded like a nightmarish tableau.